Are AI friends safe for your kids? So recently, Common Sense Media came out with some research on AI friends and AI companions. We're going to go over the research. They asked me to go over it. So I decided, you know what? Let me just make a live stream about this and go over it. If you have any questions as I'm going through it, mention in the comments below. If you're here live, you can mention it in the live stream comments and we're going to talk about it. So we're going to first pull up their research. Oh, and if this is your first time catching me live, I'm CyberFareedah. I am an award-winning Forbes 30 under 30 internet safety expert. I have a background in cybersecurity awareness and threat intelligence, and I've been gaming online for 15 plus years. So I grew up in the digital age and I created my YouTube, I created my page, my content to help parents protect their kids online because I experienced the dark side of the internet. And so yeah, that's why I'm here. And Common Sense Media sent me this before it came out, and I didn't get a chance to see it. And so I thought, you know what? Let's just go through this together. So I don't know if I should do it this way. I think this is better. So like I'm on the side of the screen. Okay. So yeah, they asked me to look at this research paper, and I'm most likely going to create like shorter forms of content on it, on if AI companions are safe for kids. So long story short, okay, they did an entire assessment, and I'm actually going to share this tab. They did an entire assessment on social AI companions, and their summary is that social AI companions have unacceptable risk for teen users and should not be used by anyone under the age of 18. So this was last updated April 10th, which was like, what is it, 4 months ago now, right? So the risk level is unacceptable. Type of AI, multi-use, and then the type of review, they did a use case review, okay? So they have a whole thing of how they reviewed it or whatever, but here are some of their key takeaways. They say that social AI companions pose significant risks to teens and children under 18, including encouraging harmful behaviors, providing inappropriate content, and potentially exacerbating mental health conditions. So these AI companions are designed to create emotional attachment and dependency. So if you're like, oh my God, Farida, what is AI? Like, what are AI companions? So in their report over here, how and why teens use AI companions, they have a little brief over here. I'm going to make this a little bit big. Okay. They have a basically what it is, like a definition of how they use this in the survey and what AI companions are. So their definition is AI companions are like digital friends and characters you can text or you can talk to whenever you want. So unlike regular AI assistants, or let's say like an AI browser or different use cases for AI, the use case for this AI is that this is your AI companion. This is your AI friend. So they don't just like mainly answer questions or do tasks for you. These AI are designed to have conversations that are meaningful and they're personal. So for example, AI can chat about your day and your interests and anything that's on your mind, can talk through your feelings and get a different perspective of what you're dealing with when especially something tough. They can create or customize digital companions with specific traits and interests and personalities. If you are familiar with, I think it's the Diary of the CEO podcast, they did a recent thing where they had experts look at an example of AI companions and kids like using that AI companion. And that AI companion was able to talk about many different things, right? Adult things, talking about relationships, talking about intimacy, right? And so these AI companions explore many different topics that kids most likely aren't feeling comfortable talking to a trusted adult or parents for. And that is the challenge when it comes to AI friends. And so this is what Common Sense Media thought to try to understand whether it's safe, and they're saying it's unacceptable. As someone who's grew up in the digital age and has worked with thousands of parents in this area, and I'm just looking at their research for the first time right now. I know about them. I've seen the apps, Character AI, all of the apps like that. And it makes me very nervous, right? When it comes to kids befriending AI. I know we have a weird culture when it comes to kids and AI, right? Because we feel like, oh my God, like if a kid is making a friend with AI, then it's going to stump their growth, or if they're making friends with, say, like some stranger online, right? So I believe as parents, as a community, as aunts, as uncles, as people, right, who have kids in our lives, if your kid wants to have an AI companion, I wouldn't be alarmed at first. And most likely it's because their friends want it, or they just want to be able to experience what it is. It's like a new and cool thing that's happening, right? But also, if you are afraid of, if you want to talk to your kids about the risk, I'm trying to develop some resources in terms of your kids understanding the risk. But if your kids are under 11, watching things like Into the Cloud could be a great conversation starter. And then asking them, because Into the Cloud, from what I have watched, does not talk about AI, but it talks about a lot of the similar principles, right? And so the main point here is developing a safe space for your kids to be able to talk to you about anything and everything is extraordinarily important. I probably should take this thing up the wait, let me put here. Okay. Is extraordinarily important to develop a relationship with your kids. They can talk to you about anything and everything with, because what the biggest problem I'm seeing with AI friends and AI companions is that a lot of kids feel like they have to go to this AI friend, they have to go to this AI companion because they don't have a space at home, at school, with their friends where they can talk about things and not feel judged, right? So I believe one of the main reasons a lot of kids may be using AI friends or AI companions is because they just want a space where they can get a quick answer. The person, this person, this entity, right, is not judging them. They can say whatever, they can get an answer, and it's like there's nothing behind it, right? They're not going to be grounded, they're not going to be looked at differently because they're saying something. And so that can be a huge, huge, huge challenge. I just saw a news story where a teen was like convinced to do self-harm after talking to these AI systems. The problem is extraordinarily deep. And yes, we absolutely can be talking about what these AI companies need to be doing. We need to be talking about that. We need to have laws around this. We need to make sure that they are, if a teen is asking a question or a kid is asking a question to AI, there are guardrails, right? So if a kid asks a particular question that can either directly or indirectly lead to something that is harmful or not appropriate for them in their age, there should be something in the AI that's like, no, absolutely not. Like let's reroute the conversation. One of the AIs that I tested was, I asked some question about like, what is some random question that maybe kids me off, like what is 69, right? And this AI thankfully was like, hey, this is something that you should talk to your parents about. And I'm pretty sure that your parent would like, or your caretaker or some trusted adults in your life would be able to explain it in a way that works best for you, something like that. And it was really good at like rerouting the question. But this app that I was testing was like an AI browser, and it's really, really good. And it's made for kids. It's not really an AI companion. It does have a voice mode, so it was saying this out loud, but also it was written and you can like follow along. So it can also help kids like read, and it's a lot of interesting points in the app. But when it comes to AI companions and AI friends, it's a little bit different. It's like a lot different. And so that's why when Common Sense Media asked me to review or like to look at their research on this, I was quite intrigued to see what they were going to say, but I am not surprised that they did not like it and they didn't find good in it, right? So this AI is customized. It's a digital companion. It has traits and personalities. It can role play conversations with fictional characters. So if they have a favorite game or show, it role plays conversations with like, I don't know, Superman with, Batwoman or whatever. I don't know, like whatever you want, some novel that they like, some character from, I don't know, some book talk character, right? They can enact scenes like that. So that can be really fun for kids. So some examples are like character AI that we mentioned before, Replica. It can also include things like Claude and ChatGPT as companions, even though they're not designed to be companions. So they're making note that the survey is not about AI tools like generators, voice assistants, I'm assuming browsers, homework helpers. It's really about AI companions and its impact, right? So that's the overview of this. So this report basically examines how US teens 13 to 17 currently use it. And it's from National Representative Survey of over 1,000 teens conducted in April and May of 2025. So here are their key findings from the report. And I'm most likely going to create some videos about this because it's really interesting. So 72% of teens have used AI companions. So if you have not already asked your kids about AI companions, this is your moment to do so. This video also has an ultimate guide for AI companions in relationships. So it gives you some ways that you can start the conversation. I'm not signed in, but when you're a member, you can absolutely get this. You can also get this if you're not a member, but I think this browser, I looked at 3 different things without being signed in. So that's why it's there. But yes, so here are the keys findings, 72%. What do they say? Okay, at least once. So they have used AI companions at least once. That's a really big percentage. So that most likely means that if your kid did not use it, this is of who they surveyed, then most likely their friend or someone else talked about it or has used it, right? And so it's important to have these conversations in a way that's non-judgmental, that's friendly, that's non-shameful, because your kids really need that space. Because if they want to use an AI companion, they're probably may be using it for like random purposes, like, oh, I want to talk to my favorite character in the book that I like or the movie that I like, and it's really cool. So you really, really have to start having really safety conversations. They said that 32% of teens surveyed use AI for social interactions and for relationships. So for conversation and social practice, some of them are using it for emotional and mental health support. And there are apps that are coming up that are helping kids in this area without them needing to use AI companions, which is really important. For role playing and imaginative scenarios, a lot of this has been happening outside of AI. So if we look at online games and social media, kids are using that for all of these purposes. And that's what I use it for as a kid as well, like just whatever you want, right? As a best friend or as a friend. And then even lower is for romantic and flirtatious interactions, but it is happening. But many of them are using it for a tool or for a program. So this is, of course, like I said, entertaining is probably going to be the most, and I'm not surprised by this, but most kids are using it for entertainment and curiosity, right? They value 17% value their constant availability. So it's like, I want an answer, right? Sometimes use it for advice. So similar to like Google, like I'm Googling something, ask for advice. They say that 12% share things they wouldn't tell a friends or family, and that boys are significantly more likely than girls to say they use it because it is entertaining. So it's a little bit, it's only like 30. Well, that's actually a lot. 30, I thought it was like 32, 37 versus 24%. So let's see what else they said. Teens' trust in AI companions are limited, but older teens are a little bit more skeptical. So that's really interesting. And they said nearly 1/3 of teens find AI conversations as satisfying or even more satisfying than human conversations. They did say that essentially most of them say that it's less satisfying, which, I mean, let's see how good it gets, right? Almost 2 in 5 AI companion users apply skills practice with AI companions in real life. So they transferred those skills. And then 60% said they don't use it to practice. And they said teens overwhelmingly prioritize human friendships or AI companionships, which makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure the teens that do equal time or more time with AI companions are like searching for like a friendship that makes them feel like, oh yeah, I feel safe in this. So yeah, this is a lot. They did a lot of amazing research, and I'm going to do a whole video looking at the screenshots and breaking some of these down. I wanted to review it for myself, and I do love that in all of their research papers, they make sure to give some steps for everyone. So if you're a tech company, they have some steps. I typically, when I talk to tech companies, it's like on the back end. So this video isn't necessarily for tech companies, but it is nice to see them talking about policies and usage limits and yeah, exactly. Stop AI companions from claiming that they're professional with credentials, and implement real age assurance programs. It's amazing. For schools and educators, you have age-appropriate curricula, which Common Sense Media does have curriculum for this as well. So highly recommend you look that up. Establishing clear boundaries on when it can be used, especially during school hours. Train educators, educate students, establish protocols, all of the things that you can do. My main focus really for my page is I talk to tech companies in the back end. I'm on some of the boards for creating a safe AI. And then, of course, I talk to schools and educators all the time. And then my channel is really, really focused, of course, on parents. So I want to see what they say here. So they basically say you don't need to be a tech expert to help your teens use AI companion safely, which I absolutely agree. Open family conversations is the difference. Absolutely agree. Starting conversations, recognizing warning signs of unhealthy use, learning about specific risks, explaining that AI companions are designed to be engaging through constant validation and agreement. So you help your teens recognize this really isn't genuine human feedback, even though it feels great. And I can totally understand why it would feel great, because I would like someone to be able to agree with me as well. So basically, I highly recommend, in addition to saying what they're saying is to your teens, is that you validate whatever the feelings that your teens are feeling. You don't want them to feel isolated, about it. You don't have to understand everything about AI and AI companions, but if you have empathy for it and you're putting yourself in their shoes and talking to them about what they're experiencing, that is a phenomenal way to protect your kids. And when it comes to AI companions and AI friends, I'm assuring teens that understand AI companions cannot replace professional mental health support is really, 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 really important. But also giving kids access to mental health support in whatever way possible for your family is really important, because they may understand that it's not a mental health professional, but in a moment where they need something, it's hard for them. It's like, what do they do with that information? If that makes sense. So giving them like alternative support. And there's some apps that I'm looking forward to backing that have that. And developing family media tech agreements. Actually, Common Sense Media has a media tech agreement that I really love. It's both in Spanish and in English, which is really, really good. They go into their methodology here for the research. They also have AI companions decoded. So Common Sense Media recommendations for AI companion safety standards. They do this for basically just, this is more companies. And if you're a parent, I recommend this guide. And then if you want to go deeper into how they did the study, here it is right here. So so when it comes to AI companions, the question of the beginning of the video was, are AI friends safe for kids? And I answered that within like 5 minutes of the video. From Common Sense Media, it's not safe, for kids under 18. I do believe, of course, there's always going to be like a one-off where, a child has a really great experience and there are guardrails and they're able to manage it safely. But I believe that in general, AI companions need to be used very sparingly. And when it comes to kids, they have to be like some strict guardrails, especially because we're dealing with things that can be customized and you have no idea what they're going to say. And so the conversations that you're having with kids outside of this, just in general, about strange conversations with strangers online grooming, predatory behavior, cyberbullying, inappropriate content, all of that is like all applied when it comes to the conversation about AI friends. So remember that the work that you're doing to protect your kids online in general, the work that you're doing to make sure that your kids have an open, honest, non-judgmental, safe space to talk to you about anything and everything, and you're remaining cool, calm, and collected as much as humanly possible, that will protect your kids online. You don't need to be an expert. Like Common Sense Media also said this as well. You don't need to be an expert in AI and tech and everything to protect your kids in it. You need to be an expert in yourself and your kids and how your kid is feeling and what they need support with, and understanding it as to the best of your ability. You don't need to know everything about it, but giving space for their emotions and their thoughts and their wants and their needs and what they think about it and what they don't think about it. And if they don't care about it, if they do care about it, just like being there for your child is extraordinarily important. So let me know your thoughts, your comments below. I'm definitely going to be creating some videos for it. I have a lot of things queued up, so I have no idea when I can actually do it, but I at least wanted to do this live stream to look through it, to get an understanding of what Common Sense Media is saying and the resources they're recommending. And again, I agree with them 100%. So yeah, I very much look forward to hearing your thoughts and whether your kids are using AI companions, what you think about AI companions. Do you feel like your kids are benefiting from it? Like, then is there a net negative or net positive to kids having AI friends and AI companions? We'll love to know your thoughts and your experiences. Let me know down below. And if you have not already, go check out my other videos on my channel. I typically do like my regular videos on like protecting kids on Snapchat, on Discord, on TikTok, on Roblox, all that. So I have a bunch of videos there. Thank you for being here, and until next time. Oops, oh my God, I just hit my hand. I was supposed to say bye, and I just hit my hand. Oh, bye.